What's up, everybody? Welcome into Derelict Sports. It's your boy Nick. Hope you had a great week. Happy Friday. We have made it. We have made it. We are at the weekend, which means UFC 313 is this weekend. So tomorrow we got a big pay per view. At least a big couple fights. Rest of the pay per view is kind of watered down, but we're gonna go kind of go through over the card for a few minutes. Gonna be a shorter stream today. Dale's traveling this weekend, so just popping in to kind of give you my thoughts and my preview and predictions on UFC 313. Alex Pereira versus Ankalaev. Should be a good one. Was Justin Gaethje versus Dan Hooker, I believe. And now it's Justin Gaethje versus Rafael Fiziev. So should be two bangers to headline the card. The rest of the card, like I said, is kind of watered down, but we're going to hop right into it here in a few minutes. But hope you guys had a great week. If you guys haven't already, make sure you guys subscribe down at the bottom. We're live on X and on YouTube Monday, Wednesday, Fridays at 7 p.m. Or a little bit earlier today, like I said, just because it's a little short stream and Dale's traveling. So kind of just hopping on here to get it out of the way because I got some stuff coming up later too, but I didn't want to not stream. So hope you guys are having a great week. Like I said, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Make sure you guys are following us on all the social media websites and don't miss anything, man. Hit that notification so you guys get notified when we go live. Like I said, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 7 p.m. We're posting all day, every day on our social medias, pretty much anything that's going on in sports. So if you check down below, we got our daily best for the day. If you aren't ready, go to the Action Network. We have an Action Network page, Daily Derelict. We got 3 to 6, 7, sometimes 9 bets a day, all free, 100% free. We're not charging you guys for bets. So you guys just make an account, follow us at Daily Derelict. Pardon me. You'll see them as soon as we post them. As soon as we post them, we'll give you guys the line we like, the pick we like, the prop we like, and it also we'll give you a little paragraph, half paragraph of our thought process behind it. So not just blindly betting it, we're giving you the reason why. These are bets that we are putting our own money on and ones that we thoroughly believe in. And usually most of the time ones that we've gone over with our collab group. We're in a group on Instagram right now with what's up, Franks? How you doing, big dog? We're in a group on Instagram called the Collab Lab. Bunch of big brain betters in one group, and we're usually passing our bets around and trying to see what everybody thinks about him and get their thoughts on it. So, all right, without further ado, let's hop into this card. Like I said, tomorrow 313. It'll be Alex Pereira Shama versus Magomed Ankalaev. A lot of people thought this was going to be the fight that Alex Pereira didn't want. People thought he was avoiding this fight. Ankalaev was he's avoiding me. Ankalaev is pretty known as pretty well known as a wrestler, grappler. He's one of those Russian guys that just loves the fucking grapple, but he's got nasty hands too. So a lot of people think this is going to be the guy that gives Pereira some trouble, as we've seen before. Pereira has obviously knocked out pretty much everybody he's fought, but he's been out wrestled by Izzy. We've seen guys take him down here in the past. So if anybody's going to give him trouble, it's probably going to be a grappler. We're doing good, man. Just hopping in for a few minutes to give my thoughts on this card just so we can roll in tomorrow. I assume you're still coming over for the fights. I'm going to have Franks in the house tomorrow for the fights. That'll be good. That will be good. And like I said earlier, we had the co-main event was it's still going to be good. Actually, honestly, I probably am more excited than I was. It was going to be Dan Hooker versus Justin Gaethje. We haven't seen Justin Gaethje since the Max Holloway fight, which we all remember, probably the one of the best MMA moments we've ever fucking seen ever, regardless of era, who's fighting. Just incredible. Max Holloway went up in weight, fights Justin Gaethje, just a battle all the way through the fight. And then the last 10 seconds, Max Holloway does the point at the ground. Let's fucking go. And he knocks him out cold. It was one of the most incredible knockouts of 2023. Or 2024. So really looking forward to see Justin Gaethje come in and see how he's going to rebound from this. And Rafael Fiziev, somebody he's already fought before. He beat him before. Should be a good fight. The rematch, and probably pretty big fireworks going on in this one. I'm way more excited for Justin or Fiziev than Justin versus Dan. Yeah, I am too. And now Dan's calling out Armin and saying he's creeping on. I like Dan Hooker, but I really don't care to watch him go in there and get knocked out all the time. Yeah, I'll be over after work and check on you. Yeah, no, I whatever you want to eat, dude. I'm down with whatever. I am down with whatever. Yeah, let's kind of just take a quick look at the card. It's really underwhelming, to be completely honest with you. If you guys have been watching UFC, the last 2-3 years, since they kind of went to this fucking cards every weekend, which I love. You got to love having a fight card every single weekend. Most of them are, 2 or 3 free ones a month, and you get the pay per view. But obviously, when you give a little, you got to take a little. And in that case, we have kind of had more watered down cards. Obviously, a lot of more people are fighting a lot more often. So obviously, you're going to get more watered down cards, and that has led to a lot of these pay per view cards. They will stack the top half of it like just unother. The top 1-2 fights will be, main co-main will be disgusting, but then they just kind of hope those 2 fights carry the card, and it just drops off after that. And this is really no exception. Like I said, obviously we got Curtis Blades on the prelim, which will be nice, but he's fighting some guy that they found in a cave. Probably never stepped out. No one knows this guy. You're looking down here. He's the only ranked fighter on the prelims or the early prelims. Nobody knows who Ozzy Diaz is. Nobody knows who Chris Gutierrez is, or Jordan Santos, or John Castillo. Nobody knows these fucking guys. And I've been watching MMA for 20 years. Okay. Don't know these fucking guys. So, Dana White's out starting boxing promotions and shit with TKO, which is going to be cool. I'm pretty interested to see what they're going to do with that. But this is just another card of a lot of shit underneath a couple good fights. Obviously King Green's, Bobby Green's always a fun fight. Curtis Blades, who finally fought, recently fought Aspinall in the prelims. Isn't that wild? Like, at least you're telling me, Franks, that we couldn't put Jalen Turner versus Ignacio Bahamadez on the prelims, or King Green versus Mauricio Ruffi. We couldn't put that on the prelims, but it's all right. We got Curtis Blades fighting Rizion Gunaev, which I assume he works at a tire shop somewhere. They went and offered him $6,000, 3 to show, 3 to fight. No bonus to win, probably. Probably loses money. He has to give money back if he knocks out Curtis Blades. They're like, damn, you just fucked up one of our fighters. You're not even in the UFC. It's all bullshit. So, that's really the only fight. We're not really going to go over too much of these as far as like get super in depth, because, we're going to go over the main ones. Amanda Lemos and Ismael Lucindo. This would be a good one. Obviously, the women fight. A lot of people are indifferent on the women fighting, but Amanda Lemos is pretty nasty. So, probably not going to get a finish in this one. Hopefully, we'll get 3 rounds of action, and hopefully it's a banger. But so, literally they're just finding random dudes in Mediterranean Cookstaff. That's what I'm saying, dude. They're like, yeah, you live in the same region as the Nurmagomedovs. You gotta know a little grappling. You've at least watched grappling. You know the basics. Get in there, bub. Curtis Blades needs somebody to fight this weekend. Sure. They don't even know what he's talking about. They're just shaking their head. Yes. Next thing you know, they're on a plane with an interpreter on their way to a UFC fight. Yeah, Lemos is tough for sure. She's nice. And this other girl looks like a cartel member. So she probably has a shiv on her at some point in this fight. But this will be a good one. 7 versus 5. Obviously, she's moving up, trying to take a spot here. Lemos is trying to keep the spot and try to move up a little bit. I'm assuming trying to go for a title fight. Obviously, we got 2 Brazilians here. We got Lemos at 14-4. We got Lucindo at 17-5. We got Lemos has got the height advantage. 127. They're fighting at 125, I guess. And I did this. They said they didn't miss weight, so I don't know if this is like a catch weight, straw weight. I thought it was 125. I don't know why she's 128.1, but whatever. But yeah, this should be a good fight. Really not, like I said, I don't know too much about these people. But let's get into the 3 main ones. Jalen Turner, absolute beast. Most of the time we see Jalen Turner fight. It's usually pretty exciting. You'll see some finishes, obviously. Really good striker. The last time he fought was, I believe, it's been a while. I know he fought Moicano at 300. I remember that. And I remember he got TKO'd. I'm trying to remember who he fought. That's actually the last time that Jalen Turner fought was UFC 300. I'm looking it up now. So this is actually, he fought Bobby Green earlier. He beat Bobby Green, lost to Dan Hooker. Then he fought Dan Hooker, lost. He lost to Gamrot, lost to Dan Hooker, beat Bobby Green, and then he loses to Moicano at UFC 300. So it's a little over almost a year since he's fought. It would have been April. April will be a year, so a little less than a year since we've seen Jalen Turner. Yeah, that was his last fight. So this should be a good one. Obviously, this is a get right spot for Jalen Turner as we've got him fighting Ignacio Bahamadez. 16-5. I don't really know too much about Ignacio. I don't know. I almost want to say this has got to be one of his first UFC fights. Let's look him up too. No, not even close. Not even close. This guy's been fighting since 2020. They've never even put this guy. When he could have finished him and didn't. Yeah, when he had the takedown and then he got TKO'd. So yeah, he's actually more impressive than I thought. He was a Contender Series guy, so that maybe that's why I don't say. I never, I have always said I was going to tune into the Contender Series and that type of shit, but I just have always got so much shit going on that I just don't have time on a Tuesday to sit down and watch these dudes fight. But apparently it's been really good. We've got a lot of fighters, coming out of that. We've got, some champions, some injured. I think we have some champions, obviously, a few of the Mexican guys. And then we've got Sugar Sean O'Malley, obviously, some of the bigger names. So this guy's fighter contender set, obviously he lost to John McDessie, who's no longer in the UFC. He's been 2020 though. So his last fight was Manuel Torres. He beat him at 306. So end of last year. So yeah, this looks like it's going to be a standing fight. I mean, this guy's got a Bravo choke, but for the most part, wheel kicks, front kick, head kick, TKO punches. So I expect this to be a pretty huge jump in competition for Bahamadez, is what Frank says. Yeah, I can see that. So this should be a good fight. I mean, it's one of those fights that, you know, you go into and you're really like, I don't know. Obviously, like I said, it really does drop off after the top two, but it's like, this could like sneakily could be like fight of the night type thing. You know what I'm saying? You got two guys that are willing to scrap. Jalen Turner coming off the loss has been inactive for a year. Like Frank said, he could have finished the Moicano at 300, but he didn't, and he ends up losing the fight by TKO. So, he wants to get right. And Ignacio, like you said, big jump of competition. So nothing would be better for his career if he goes in here and finishes Jalen Turner at UFC 313, a Pereira, an Alex Pereira pay-per-view. So that'd be great. Be a great opportunity for Ignacio. I'm actually going to go, I'm going to go Ignacio in this one. I'm looking at his record and the way he strikes. And I don't, Jalen Turner could obviously use his wrestling and his grappling a little bit, which definitely could be a problem. But he's actually the dog in this one now that I'm seeing. Damn, he's the plus 105 dog. See, I really like Ignacio at minus 125. I would, I would maybe lean to the side if we're going to see a finish, but I don't know. These guys could also, they're both known for their finishes. They've both been finished. So it's going to be pretty interesting to see. Like I said, I don't have too much on Ignacio, but I like him in this fight. I'm looking at his record. I'm looking at his stats, and I just like the way he kind of, obviously the leg reach. He's got a little bit of. He's gonna have a reach problem. He's gonna have to get in for sure. He's gonna have to be able to get inside of Jalen Turner to make it dirty. I don't know, but maybe uses the kicks. It seems, a lot of heel kick or spinning wheel kicks and shit like that. So maybe he'll utilize the kicks and really won't have to get too far inside. So it should be a good fight. I'm going to go with Ignacio Bahamadez at minus 125. All right, let's move on to the two that matter here. All right, agreed. Ignacio within 3 rounds, but money line okay as well. Yeah, I would maybe a second round, maybe firefight in the first round, comes out, takes, kind of sharpens shit up, finishes, puts him away in the second. That'd be pretty cool. But yeah, give me Bahamadez, baby. Let's fucking roll, baby. Let's roll. All right. Gaethje Fiziev, round 2. You're getting the excitement in this one. This is going to be there's going to be no technique in this fight. It's just going to be two dudes scrapping, throwing fucking leather around. Fiziev hasn't won. Fiziev hasn't won a fight in the UFC since 2022. So you got to bet Justin in this one. He's already lost to Justin. It was a majority decision, so it really wasn't like, it wasn't like a bad loss. But then he goes on a few months later, fights Gamrot, loses TKO. It was like a knee injury. I remember he got hurt in that fight. So I don't. he hasn't won a fight in 3 years. So you got to think that Rafael Fiziev's going to come into this one and maybe take it a little more. I don't want to say seriously, but maybe lock in a little bit more because these are guys who just kind of go in there and throw it, fucking caution to the wind and go at it. Which obviously we love to see. We love to see those kind of fights, and it's good for the fans, but not really good for these guys. So, I assume that Fiziev's going to want to get back into the winner column. Like I said, he hasn't. It's been years. Justin Gaethje, though, coming off the Max Holloway knockout, I would assume he's hungry to get back in there. Like I said earlier, the last time we saw him, probably if not, it's a top 5 MMA moment ever. Justin Gaethje taking on the coming up in weight Max Holloway, and it's a brawl, an absolute war. I mean, and Justin Gaethje didn't fight terrible in that fight, but he gets lured into these firefights, and Max Holloway pointed at the ground and said, "Let's fucking go." And you knew Justin Gaethje was not going to say no, so he did not say no. He stepped right in there and got in a firefight, got knocked the fuck out cold immediately. And they actually just recently, when it happened, they weren't putting the camera on him. No, no, I thought you meant Justin. I thought Justin was Muslim. um, I, you know, I they were okay. So they weren't showing it after the knockout, right? So they were kind of like showing Max Holloway, obviously, because he just knocked out Justin Gaethje in a savage moment. He's running around doing his thing. But they recently just released kind of like the camera footage of that, and boy, Justin Gaethje was fucked up. He was twitching on the ground, um, seizing up and shit. So it was definitely good that they kept him off camera. But it was a savage knockout, and Justin Gaethje, who's got to be punch drunk to an extent, um, that wasn't good, right? To be unconscious that long. So I would assume that, Justin coaches probably tell him all the time, stop going in there and doing this, but there really is no stopping Justin Gaethje. It just seems that he goes in there and just can't help himself. So I would assume we're going to see the same thing in this one. To be completely honest, I don't think this is going to be very different than the first one. I think it's going to be a brawl. Justin Gaethje's actually the dog in this one, so I like him at plus 136. That's good money. Justin Gaethje, who's already won this fight once, at plus money, I like that a lot. I think you guys should lock that in. Maybe I would even maybe. I don't know if anybody's going to get finished. I really don't. They could. It's going to be 5 rounds, I would assume. The co-main, I think they'd make the co-main. They're 5 rounds now, right? I maybe not, but I think that this is going to probably go the distance. It's going to be a war again. And I like Gaethje. I think Gaethje's going to get back in this. Like I said, Fiziev hadn't won a fight in 3 years. Uh, had a knee injury, the last time he fought. So it's we have to wait and see how the knee holds up in this fight. But yeah, give me Gaethje in this one in a firefight, by decision. I don't think anybody's going to get finished, but we're going to see a lot of violence in this one. Probably some blood spilled in this one. Did you rewatch their fight recently? Yeah. So I didn't watch the whole fight. I watched, I went back. I remember the fight now. Once I turned it on, I'm like, oh yeah, for sure. It was our majority decision, I believe, is what it was. So a lot of people might thought it was I think it was a draw, wasn't it? Was it a draw? Two people had or no, one, no, two people had it for, because it would have been a split decision. What was it? Somebody had a draw, and then two people had it for Gaethje, I believe is how it was scored. So that's how it turned out to be a majority decision. Um, but yeah, I just think that I think Gaethje's going to come in here, and even though Gaethje still kind of throws caution to the wind, he does kind of he has kind of crisped up his boxing a little bit. I feel like his striking's kind of get a little more crisp. Yeah, I really like Raphael and really wanted him to be a top 5 guy, but I got to Justin too, all things considered. Yeah, so and like I said, and plus 136, that's good money. I mean, the toughest thing is going to be trying to figure out how this fight ends, but yeah, I think more than likely we're going to see this go the distance and these guys just scrap. So, all right, let's go to the main event here, title fight. But I think Raphael should have won. Yeah, a lot of people did. I mean, that was, it was a good fight. It's definitely a fight that he's going to want to come in here and try to get back. That's for sure, especially not having a win in so long. All right, but yeah, now we get the title fight. Moving along here, we've got Magomed Ankalaev, who many think is the biggest threat to Chama, Alex Pereira, who has taken fucking MMA by storm since he came in. Obviously, he had the Izzy beef, and then the knocking out fucking Jamal Hill and the thing, which was sick. But this is probably going to be the biggest competition for him. I mean, Izzy was obviously the guy, but since Izzy, I would say this is probably the best guy he's going to fight. He beat Jan Blachowicz, but I think that um, if Magomed wants to come in here and wrestle him, I think he can. And I think if he utilizes his grappling, I think this could be somewhat of a one-sided fight. Now, do I think he's going to do that? No. I saw that he's already telling everybody he's going to knock him out. And I know some people, usually take that as, well, maybe he's just saying he's going to knock him out. We're going to, making Alex think that they're going to get into a, stand and bang, and he's not going to use his wrestling. But these guys, these Russian guys they're not like I said. Justin Gaethje is a wrestler by trade. Okay, he's got like one takedown in his UFC career. He got to the professionals and said, "Yeah, fuck wrestling. I like knocking people out." So he stopped using his wrestling. Russians don't do that. Those are not the kind of guys. They are so strict and they are so just on top of their game and just I don't even know how to say, like, disciplined, I guess is the word to say. Like, those are not the kind of guys that are going to go out there and just throw shit to the wind and just stop wrestling. So, I do think Alex could win by TKO or KO, like if he catches him coming in, or if Ankalaev does get, cocky, and before he decides to take it to the ground, he tries to stand and bang. But Alex is not that kind of guy. It's not the kind of thing where you go into this as a wrestler and go, okay, kind of like Islam does and Khabib, obviously they're grappling, but they'll stand and bang with you. But then as soon as they kind of get clipped here and there, then they kind of go, but they'll go back to the grappling and, all right, let's get back to what we're good at. That's not the kind of guy you're going to do that with Pereira. You get caught by him by that death shot once, and you might not have a chance to resort to plan B. There might not be time for plan B. It's you need to have plan A and plan 1A and 1B, because, I don't know. I don't know what you do when you see a punch from out, because nobody's been able to take it. We've not seen anybody take that shot and like clean and not go to sleep. Right. So I want to lead him. This is a pretty much a pick me fight. If you look down at the odds down here, they got Alex at 112, minus 112. And they got Ankalaev at 108, minus 108. So Vegas does not know what to do with this fight. They don't want to pick a winner, and they don't want to give you any odds to go get an upset or go get some plus money. Now, this might change by tomorrow. Today, everybody weighed in, no missed weight, so there's really not any factors that are really going to change this. So I don't see it changing very much. Both guys made weight. Neither guy looked bad on the scale. Nobody looked like they were struggling. Some could say that Alex Pereira is somewhat getting a little cocky. I kind of have felt that a little this week, where it's kind of like yeah, it was bad. He beat the shit out of him. I mean, Khalil Rountree's fucking eye. I mean, I guess he didn't finish. Well, did he finish Khalil Rountree at the end, or did they? It was a late finish. But I remember his fucking eyelid was hanging off his face, and it was just brutal. Incredible fight. Khalil Rountree, definitely big respect after that fight. Whooped him like like an unloved step shot. Yeah, it was brutal. Um, but yeah, I think that, Alex has kind of maybe gotten a little cocky this week. He's like, oh, I'm the face of the UFC. I'm this, I'm that. Like, he's kind of has that, like, maybe he's bought into the hype a little bit, and he's, I don't know. He's attacking the guy's religion, and he's I don't think he's, which is funny because Franks and I talked about this. He was like, I don't even think Ankalaev is fasting for Ramadan, because I went into the UFC cafeteria and we saw a bunch of lunch boxes with his name on it with food in it. So I don't think he is, which Ankalaev then had to respond and say, okay, maybe I'm not. I'm going to break fast for the fight week, but you'll see that I'm not eating this stuff. I don't know. You're so back and forth, but stuff that you don't really see from Pereira. Pereira's usually a silent killer. And obviously, he'll have like maybe a funny jab here and there, because he's got personality. When you see him outside of the ring, he's a pretty funny guy, pretty lighthearted guy. But the moment he flips that switch, he is an absolute serial killer. And yeah, I don't know if anybody's going to be able to take that shot. Like, Khalil Roundtree, if you're looking at Khalil Roundtree, he might have taken it, but like you said, fourth round, he only took it for so long. He took it better than anybody else, but eventually it wore him down. And after a while, you just can't do it anymore. You can't take it anymore, and that's it. So I don't know if Ankalaev's going to be able to take it, and like Khalil Roundtree did. But again, I don't know if he's going to have to. I think if he comes in here and fights smart, uh, he's going to have a little bit of a reach. He's going to have to shoot in for the takedowns. 4 inches of reach, that's nothing to really scoff at. I mean, 4 inches is a decent reach advantage. He's only got an inch on him in height, so it's going to take. He's going to have to shoot from the outside, or he's going to have to clinch and trips type thing, Muay Thai clinch, and try to trip him up, or judo throws, something like that. But it's not gonna. It's going to be hard for him to Khabib shoot, where it's just relentless one leg, one single leg, single leg, single leg, single leg. It doesn't work. Single leg, 15 goddamn single legs in a row. And then, by the 14 and a half, you're so tired and you're just like, fuck it, have it. You can just have the takedown. And then he gets on top of you and he just bear fucks you, right? He just mount fucks you, and it's pretty much over by then. You might not finish you for 4 rounds, but you are in absolute hell from the moment you hit the ground till the end. It's hell. Magomed's a beast, though. He has best chance. Yeah, I agree. Now, obviously, we've seen Izzy put Pereira's lights out, right? But that was the one time we saw it. But they have fought each other 700 times. Pereira, has gotten the better of him. But you can't take that away from Izzy. I mean, I'm not a big Izzy guy. I've always kind of thought he's a little fruity guy. Entertaining fighter for sure, but not a big fan of him. But you can't take away the fact that he put that man's lights out. And Izzy's got great walk-ins, great entrances. But I always thought he kind of tried to do the shit talking route a little bit. I think he thought he was the kind of had the Conor McGregor shit talk, and it was just always came off corny. Like, I don't think it ever landed, And then if we remember, there was a time where everybody thought Izzy was better than John Jones, and they were going to fight and all that shit, and people really thought Izzy was going to beat him. And get real, right? John Jones is now a balloon. He's up at heavyweight. Looks like he hasn't done a sit up in 3 years. And the only time we see him in heavyweight, the 2 times we see him in heavyweight, nobody's touched him. Now, Stipe might have landed something here and there, but Stipe got fucked. And then we all know what happened with what's his face, who he'd fucking beat in 2 seconds. I'll leave you frozen like Elsa. Please, does he say that? Is that a Izzy zinger? Is that a fucking zinger? I'll leave you frozen like Elsa. Yeah, that's that shit that he says right there. Like, if it's not real, I believe it, though, that it is real. Yeah, Cyril Gane. So you beat Cyril Gane, obviously. First heavyweight fight, he went up, fought Cyril Gane. Didn't even get breathed on. I don't even think Cyril Gane looked at him. By the time it was on, it was over. And then he obviously fights Stipe, goes 3 rounds. Poor Stipe retires after the fight. The spinning kick, it was rough. It's rough. Yeah, he said that to someone before. I can't remember. It was either Alex or Sean. It's probably Sean. I remember Sean saying, "This guy fucks dogs." Remember, that was hilarious. He's like, "This guy watches and beats off in the anime and fucks dogs." And there's hilarious shit talk going back the way. Like, that's the thing about Izzy. Like, there's just so much ammo there, right? Like, there's only so much. You can call John Jones the biggest cokehead, the wife beater, a felon, a piece of shit human, trash, fuck all, whatever you want. But you know what you can't hate on John Jones for? Fighting. He's the greatest fighter of all time. He's shown no weaknesses one time 10 years ago, and he righted that wrong, came back and beat the dog shit out of Alex Gustafsson. So it's like, he's pretty much bulletproof, but not Izzy. So, but anyway, back to this fight. I think this is going to be a good fight. I'm very excited for these top 2 fights. I really wish this could have been like a more full card. I think this could have been maybe filled out a little bit better, but I'm very excited about this. I would say I think I'd lean with Franks. I think I'm still going to go Izzy. I think he will eventually find that shot. He has shown the ability to, even if he gets taken down, like he can survive, kind of get back up type. He's not the worst on the ground. He didn't really have any offense off the ground, but he's not terrible at getting off the ground and stuff like that. So it definitely could be one of those fights where we see 10 takedowns, right? Where it's just Ankalaev is like, I'm not going to play this game with him. I'm not going to get into a firefight with Alex Pereira, and we're going to, we're just gonna wrestle him. Like we're gonna grapple him. We're gonna make him tired, and maybe later in the fight, if that works, and third round, end of third round, going into the championship rounds, we see Alex Pereira, struggling to get off the mat, or he sits there for a second after the bell. Those telltale signs that somebody is struggling with their cardio, or the fight is weighing on them type thing. Though if we see that, then I definitely think we're going to see if that's the way it plays out. I think Ankalaev then will start. I think he'll kind of gain some confidence in the striking, and I think maybe we see like a TKO type thing for Ankalaev. But I really think that he's going to come in and try to grapple him. But yeah, I'm gonna. I told Frank yesterday I had a good feeling about Ankalaev, but I slept on it. I've really been watching shit today and reading stuff about it, and just really thinking about it. And yeah, I like Pereira here. We're gonna take him by fourth round KO. I'm gonna say that yeah, it's a war. He proved with Khalil Roundtree that he can go 5 rounds. He's not going to get tired. Khalil Roundtree never went away, not for 1 second in that fight did he go away. And Pereira looked good, fresh the entire time. He was there in his face, throwing punches at volume, heavy. They weren't Nick Diaz shots. They were heavy, heavy shots. And they came in numbers, and they came and didn't stop. So I think that I have a little more faith in Alex Pereira's gas tank maybe than I did. I never really had any doubts, but I do think that I am way more confident going into this and that he could fight somebody like Magomed Ankalaev, who's going to probably push that to the limit and test that. And if he comes into this fight thinking, oh, I'm just going to knock this guy like the rest, I think he could be in for a long night. But I don't think that's going to happen. I think I'm going to go Alex Pereira here with a maybe late third, early fourth round TKO. I think he's going to catch him. Probably not put his lights out, but I think he catches him, maybe falls backwards, falls down, and I think Pereira hops on him, finishes it off, and still. That's what I think. I'm going to go Alex regardless. Similar fight to Khalil. Will be back and forth. But Alex Pereira, yeah, I agree. That's what I mean. I think that if Ankalaev wants to stand there and bang with him for 5 rounds, I mean, if he stands and bangs the whole time, then I don't know if Ankalaev can last that long, as long as Khalil Roundtree was like basically on death's door for like 2 rounds. He just get the shit beat out of him. And then like it was almost like he truly just physically, he's like inside his head going, don't fall down, stay in this fight, you're fine. And his body was just like, brother, you're getting murdered right now. Like you're getting bent over this guy's knee and spanked. You need to just go down. And, made him a better man. He's happy he's at the fight. You've seen him clear around. She's like, I fucking loved it, blah, blah, blah. There's a lot of mutual respect there. So maybe we get to see that again someday. I'd like to see Khalil Roundtree. Has Khalil Roundtree fought since that? I don't think Khalil Roundtree has fought since then. Let me check that real quick. Let me check. Because I don't believe he has. He's probably not the same person. No, he has not fought. So that was October of last year. Great fight. But yeah, he has not fought since then. I don't even think he has anything like set up, to be completely honest. I don't. Oh yeah, he does. No, yes he does. Yes he does. He is fighting Jamal Hill. Let's fucking go. I just saw that again. Yes he is. I totally forgot about that. He is fighting Jamal Hill, which I love. Like Jamal Hill, look, I think Jamal Hill is talented guy, right? Not a big fan of him. Runs his mouth. Well, his whole career has been about the knockout. Now I feel like the Alex Pereira, like he just can't stop making excuses, whatever. But I don't think he should have gotten the. I think he needs to fight again before he gets a title shot. I don't think he didn't do anything to just be able to lose and then come back and just get a rematch. So I think Jamal Hill needs to come back. He needs to fight again. He needs to. And I think Jamal Hill was scheduled to fight. Wasn't he scheduled to fight somebody and it got. He was. He was supposed to fight somebody, and then I think that fight got canceled. He pulled out injured. I know he fought Yuri and he lost. So I think that Khalil needs to, or not Khalil. I think Jamal needs to work his way back a little bit. And obviously, if he goes out and beats Roundtree, I don't even think beating Roundtree puts him back into it. I mean, he's coming off 2 losses. I mean, the loss to fucking Pereira, 2 finishing losses, right? Not even like good performances. He got beat up in 1 round against Pereira, and then Yuri, was a decent fight, but for the most part, Yuri handled him. So, and then finished him. So, I think he's got a few fights he's going to have to win before he gets back to even thinking about a title fight. And Khalil Roundtree is a great opponent because I think I am definitely interested to see what he's going to be like, what he's going to take from that fight, what he's going to take from that. I mean, fight of the year last year, I'm pretty sure that one fight of the year, Roundtree Pereira. So I think that what is he going to take from that? What is he going to, learn from that? I'm sure he, applied a lot of that into training, learned all the lessons from that. And I think he's going to come back a better guy from that. It'll be interesting. Some guys, are never the same after wars. We've seen that, guys have just never been the same. Johnny Hendricks, we've seen guys like that. We've seen Carlos Condit in the Robbie Lawler. They're just guys that just, Rory McDonald, probably the best example. That fight that he had, against Robbie Lawler on the McGregor card, never was the same. I mean, Rory McDonald was like the future, right? The prodigy, the GSP phenom, right? He was going to be the next guy, Rory McDonald, and it just fell apart after that. He went to Bellator, never really, So I don't even think he fights anymore. I don't think he fights at all. Let me see what the fuck is Rory McDonald doing? Says former mixed martial artist, so he's definitely not fighting. 167. So he went to Bellator in 2016. Fought Paul Daly. I remember he fought Paul Daly and beat him. He beat he beat Douglas Lima. I don't know. God, remember when he fought Gegard Mousasi, and that was one of the worst fights of all time. Remember, they just got destroyed. Says this is funny. So it says Franks, I don't know if you're still here, but it says September 2014, it was revealed that an anonymous fan picked Rory McDonald's walkout music for several years until UFC 145. According to Rory McDonald, he had changed phone numbers after moving to Montreal, and the producer who arranged entrance music continued to unknowingly text his previous phone number. McDonald also explained he'd been too focused on trying to think of walkout music. So, unaware that McDonald was not the one making the song choices, the producer approached McDonald's and purchased to tell him they could not use a song by Nickelback that the fan chose. Jesus Christ. That's probably a good choice, but that's pretty interesting. But yeah, he's not fighting anymore. So he fought Brett Cooper in 2020. So he fought a bunch in Bellator. Then he went to the PFL. Yeah, that's where he ended. So he lost decision and then TKO punches, back-to-back fights he lost 4 of 5 basically and 5 of 7. So not very good end for Rory McDonald, but we're getting off track here. But yeah, that is a guy that, was in a war and he was never the same afterwards. So we'll see what Khalil Rountree's like in his fight. But yeah, that's the UFC 313, man. Really excited for UFC 313. I got Robbie coming over tomorrow. It's going to be a good one. Like I said, we're going to go with Pereira, 3rd round, 4th round TKO over Magomed Ankalaev. We're going to go Justin Gaethje. We're going to go him by a war decision. Is who we're going to go with there, and then we're going to go against. We're going to pick the guy fighting Jalen Turner. I forget his Ibrahim Medez or whatever. Like the way he's fighting. I like his record. Like the way his style is. So I think stylistically he matches up really well against Jalen Turner. So those are our top 3 picks for the fight tomorrow. Hopefully you guys are tuning in to watch it. If you guys are, I hope you guys have a great weekend and enjoy your fights and enjoy them. And Monday, 7 p.m. we'll be here to talk about it. Dale will be back. Front office will be back. I believe we got Playoff Beard coming on Monday too, so he's gonna come on and he's got a kind of a new idea he wants to throw around for hockey betting. So of course we're gonna have him on here to do that. But yeah, man, hope you guys have a great weekend. Go Pereira, really rooting for him. Can't wait for the fight. Hopefully you guys have a great, safe weekend. If you got, like I said, if you're going out, watch the fights, be safe. Hopefully win a bunch of money. If you guys are betting, make sure you guys are following us on the Action Network. We'll be posting our bets tomorrow for this. I'm sure there'll be some parlays. So make sure you guys follow and tail those. If you guys aren't ready, we got 4 up today. We got Marshall, who just kicked off about 20 minutes ago. They're up. We got them by 5.5. They're tied right now. We got Bradley later on against Murray State. We got SEMO, Southeast Missouri State. Jesus Christ. That's how you know we're derelicts here when Dale's betting on SEMO basketball. So we got them playing, and then we had Drake hit earlier against SIU. So pretty hot the last few days. Make sure you guys are following us. We just posted on our Instagram today. We're like above 5. We've got 728 total bets, and we're over 500. Nobody's betting like we are. Okay, like sure we might hit some. We might go into a cold patch and have like a little rough few days or a rough week, but overall to bet 730 times and be above 500, and we're like 10 units up in the last month, 10 and a half, almost 11 units up the last month. I mean, it's a beautiful thing, dude. So make sure you guys are going over there. We got a 362 and 358. So we're a 50-50 basically. But all time, that's a lot of bets. So, it's not bad to be at 50% and 64% for the last month. So we know what we're doing. Dale knows what he's doing. Make sure you guys hop on there. If you guys are on Prize Picks, it's Flex at Friday. Go put your lineup in. If you guys lose, you get your money back. And if you're on Underdog, make sure you guys use Nick Flair 93 when you guys sign up. You guys get a match to your donation up to $1,000, and we can all start winning money together. All right, guys. Well, I appreciate you guys stopping in today. It was just a short one. I just wanted to hop on here and give you guys some UFC picks. Good little chat. Thank you, Franz, for hanging out with us today. We'll see you guys on Monday we'll have a lot to talk about on Monday. We have a dart competition going on this week. Bunting's playing tomorrow. Started today. Didn't get to watch it. I was really busy, but today, tomorrow, and Sunday. So darts all weekend, sports all weekend, fights tomorrow. It's going to be a great sports weekend. We'll see you guys on Monday. It's been Derelict Sports. Thanks for watching. Peace.